Okay, God gave me a word, and the word is reactive. Essentially, when you hear the word reactive, you hear the root word react in the word. An action, reaction. You're reacting to an action. So the definition is acting in response to a situation rather than creating or controlling it. And what God said to me was, Di, you do not need to react to every situation, every problem, every conflict, every person that's attacking you personally, whether it be because they're racist, they're jealous, they're envious, or they're simply having a bad day and they want to cause you to have a bad day as well. You don't need to react to everything and everyone all the time. So it says acting in response to a situation rather than controlling it. I'm going to give an example of what that looks like today. But before I do, actually, I'll give you an example and then I'll give you the Bible verse. Feeling a little embarrassed about this one, but I know for sure that God wants me to use this example. So I'm going to be humble enough to allow God to humiliate me. Yeah? You ready? So I was in the grocery store the other day and I had this reaction with a store associate, the cashier in particular. And God, where do I start the story? So the first time I approached this cashier, I put my groceries on the belt at the grocery store, and I noticed that she kind of gave me this look. She gazed over at me like this, but she didn't say anything. Her face had said a million words, but her mouth did not move, right? That's the first thing. So I kind of sensed that she was racist by the way she looked at me, and when she began speaking to me, she started to speak to me like I was beneath her feet, almost like I wasn't worth anything and she was worth everything. That was my first interaction with her. How do I know? Some might say, how do you know that she was racist? Well, I've experienced it enough to know it when I see it. She did not speak to me the same way she spoke to the customer that came after me. I was still bagging my items, and as I was still bagging my items, she did not help me bag them. I ended up swiping my card because she was rushing me off, and I swiped my card. The transaction was complete. She gave me the receipt. She did not help me bag my items, and she even went on to proceed to help the next customer ring up the next customer items. And before you start, no, the store was not busy. It was early in the morning. Myself and the customer behind me were the only two customers that she had. So I think she could have waited and given me the time that I had deserved to bag the items, and she also should have aided me, helped me bag the items, but she did not. The customer behind me was also white, as so was the cashier. The cashier greeted her with respect and with dignity and kindness. She greeted me like, "Good morning. Do you have a card?" "No?" "Okay." The next customer she greeted like this: "Good morning, how are you today? Do you have a ShopRite card with us?" "No?" "Would you like one? Do you have a phone number?" "No?" "Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll begin scanning your groceries." Scan, scan. And as she's scanning, I'm still bagging, and in my head I'm thinking, why isn't this lady helping me? You might be wondering, well, why didn't you say anything? Because Di is working on not reacting in every situation, whether the person is racist, or they're discriminating against me, or they're jealous, or they're envious. God has me working on not giving people a response in every situation, because being reactive is not always a good thing. Sometimes we give people the attention that they are looking for, but they don't deserve. So, long story short, I had another run into her, and recently in the grocery store, and I'm not too proud of this moment. That's why I did not want to share it, but I know the Lord wanted me to share it, so I'm sharing. Racism alert! If you are racist and you're looking at me like this black girl, keep scrolling. I'm not here for it, okay? I'm not here for it. Alright, so another experience. So I'm in the grocery store, and I'm bagging the items, and she starts to call me names. I'm a real estate agent at the moment, and I am shopping, doing Instacart, so that I can have the flexibility, schedule, whatever. So I'm walking up, and she says to a new employee, "This is an Instacart shopper." And it's how she said it. She said it in a very demeaning way, like she was trying to belittle me, like she was trying to make me feel this small and herself this big. We're not doing that. Now, looking back at it, I could have had a better reaction, or may not even reacted to it at all, because some white racist people, they look for black people to react. Now, I didn't go yelling and cursing and screaming. That's not what I did. But I think that what God wanted me to do was simply show her grace. I don't know if I showed her that, but I'll tell you what happened next. So, next, Di was like, and I don't think it was anything wrong with this part of what I said. I said, "I do not prefer to be called a Instacart shopper." And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to offend you." I'm like, "No, I'm not offended. Just please don't call me Instacart shopper. My name is Di. If you would like to refer to me, you can refer to me as Di." And I was like, "But if you want to call me anything, call me a child of God." I felt the heat in that moment. I felt the heat rising. I felt the heat rising. Anyways, I corrected her, and then she went on to call me a professional shopper. And I could tell she was trying to be funny. So I was like, remember, this is not my only job, and I'm a child of God once again. I am a New York licensed real estate agent, so if you ever need help with real estate, please let me know. And she said, "Oh, yeah, right. Do you have your license?" Oh, boy. Wait a minute. That's where I should have stopped. Like, I'm just thinking about it now. I'm like, Di, why'd you even respond to that? Like, she was obviously trying to get under your skin. What were you thinking? So I responded. I said, "Yes, I have my license." Whatever. Oh, my gosh. Anyways, long story short, as you can imagine, it was a little bit of back and forth. Unnecessary back and forth. I walked away, and I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel defeated by her, but I felt defeated by Satan, because I was like, Di, why were you defending yourself so hard? Like, you don't have to prove who you are to anyone. And your worth and your value doesn't come from the job that you do, but your worth and value comes from heaven. And the fact that you even, like, you didn't have, what? Okay. I felt the heat. I was getting angry. Let me read you a Bible verse. Hold on. James chapter 1 verse 19 says, "Understand this, my brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry." I was not slow to get angry that day. I was quick to get angry. I was not slow to listen that day. I was quick to speak. Yeah. And I wasn't quick to listen at all. I didn't want to hear it. I felt attacked, and I was defending myself. John 10:10 says, "The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy." I didn't have that in my head that morning. That morning I was having, okay. Stop fighting the devil. Just stop fighting unnecessary battles. This pastor in Lithuania preached a sermon, and he talked about how this group of guys, came up to him. They were trying to steal his phone, and he noticed some other guy crossing the street, so he pointed to the other guy, and he distracted them, and in the time frame that he was distracted, the guy who they were approaching and trying to steal his phone from was able to get away. And the message behind that he gave was, we don't have to fight every battle. Every time the enemy attacks us, we don't have to give him attention and fight back. We can simply be quiet and walk away. Be slow to speak, be quick to listen, and slow to get angry. You don't have to respond to everything the devil throws at you, unless you don't believe that God is your defender and your protector. So I'll leave that there. Don't be so quick to react. Give it to God. Hey, and if you're black like me and you deal with racism, maybe you got to find a better way to deal with it. And so do I. Because I don't deal with it the best. I hate when people just presume that I'm stupid because I'm black, or that I don't have any sense because I'm black, or like just crazy things. I hate it. I'm getting angry now, so I'm going to calm down. All right, guys, have a good day.